So this is going to be a little bonus video where I give you some slogans that and little sayings that help me in my recovery. And um, it's funny, when I first got sober, I did not actually enjoy the slogans. They were kind of cliche and they annoyed me a little bit. But I learned as I got sober, they actually work. And once they get stuck in your head, they're little tools that can actually work for you wherever you are in your day, wherever you are, whether you're going through a hard time or not. So there's some slogans that I definitely want to go over that can definitely be beneficial for you. One of the first ones that is big for me is one day at a time. And it's very simple. It's a very simple slogan, and it's pretty self-explanatory. You want to take recovery one day at a time. I think one of the biggest things that people get into in their mind is that they have to stay sober forever. They look at the path ahead instead of worrying about where their feet are right now. And I think the most simple way of handling recovery is just focusing on one day at a time. It's focusing on the fact that the future isn't even real. It doesn't even exist right now. And same with the past. It's like all you can focus on is staying clean one day at a time, 1 hour at a time if you have to. You want to break it down into the most simple, basic, bite-sized pieces that you can. And if you look too far ahead, it becomes overwhelming. So like I've mentioned before, if you listen to my podcast and things like that, I got sober when I was 20 years old, and that's when my journey really started. And one of the biggest disservices I did to myself mentally was early on was I was like, how am I going to stay sober forever? How am I gonna do this for the next year, for the next 5 years, and into my 30s and whatnot? And it's just a ridiculous way of thinking about it, because think of it this way: when you were getting high and you were drinking and using, you didn't worry about getting high next month, right? You just worried about the day. You just figure it out in the day, in the moment. And that's exactly how it needs to be in recovery as well. You need to just focus on the task at hand, and that is right now. So one day at a time is definitely a phrase that has helped me out quite a bit. Another quote that has helped me out tremendously is the phrase, "This too shall pass." And this is kind of to put things in perspective, that no matter where you are right now, whether it's a difficult time or not, tough times pass. We need to put things in perspective and understand that whatever you're going through right now, maybe you're just starting your recovery journey today and you're really struggling, or you're going through personal issues, or you're going through a career struggle where you're not sure what you want to do in life, relationship issues, whatever the case may be. It's really important to put things in perspective, realize that this too shall pass. Tough times are not here forever. They're just temporary obstacles in order for us to grow. We have to go through tough times in life. You're not going to avoid it. One of the biggest issues for people like you and I, if you're watching this, is that we get acclimated instant gratification. We get used to, I need things to be easy now, or I want things to be going well right now, or I want to be feeling better now. And life just doesn't operate that way, and it's not supposed to, because if we want to have great things in life, we've got to understand it takes work. So if you're going through a tough time, just understand, and it's easier said than done, that this too shall pass, and to have faith in the process. Even if you don't believe it, I want you to believe that I've been through it. I've been through tough times and thought that my life was never going to get better, or my circumstances were going to define my future, and it's just not the case. And we're usually our worst critic. So understand that as well, that it helps to talk with people and get outside of yourself. This is why having a support system is crucial, So this too shall pass is another slogan that has helped me a lot as well. Stick with the winners is another slogan. Very self-explanatory, very simple, but very, very important. you can't expect to win in life or to grow if you're going to be hanging around people that are going to be dragging you down. And we're going to talk about this. We talk about this in the course, especially in our social module, but you really have to put yourself in a position to win. And if the people around you are not winners themselves, they're going to drag you down. This is why I myself, I went to meetings, right? I went to AA meetings, and even in meetings, there are people that you're going to really get along with, and there's going to be other people that maybe rub you the wrong way, and are people that you should not be hanging around, and that's okay because everybody's different. But in life, if you want to win, you have to stick with the winners. I'd rather you be alone for a little bit than stick with the losers. Isolate if you have to. If you've got nobody good in your life, hang out with nobody for now, and develop relationships over time. But sticking with the winners is very important. And my fourth quote is, sobriety is a journey, not a destination. This is not a race, right? Life it's a process. Things are going to be really great sometimes. Things are going to be really tough in other times, and that's okay. If we're working towards becoming our best selves and we're working on our potential in all different aspects of life, it's going to play out. You have to be patient, and patience is pretty tough. I definitely needed to work on patience, and being willing to open my ears and shut my mouth when I was first getting sober. I wanted things now and immediately, and I think as I got older, I kind of understood the bigger picture that it's a journey. There needs to be ups and downs. There needs to be a little bit of uncertainty. There needs to be structure and organization in our lives. But the idea here is that you want to focus on getting better each and every day, just a little bit each and every day, even if it feels like, what's the point? I know for me, I always like to compare it to the gym. When I'm in the gym, there's a bunch of days where I just don't feel like being there. I'm not seeing the results that I want now, or I've been working really tough, and my my physique isn't where I think I need it to be, and that's just one example. But the idea is, it takes work. It's an accumulation of days over time, and that's the journey of it. It's not about getting things immediately right when you want it. It just doesn't work that way. It really is about the whole process. So don't worry about getting the result. Just worry about putting in the work, and the results will eventually come. Another quote that I really like, a slogan that is used often in AA, is pour me another drink. And this is pretty much when you're feeling sorry for yourself. Not to say that, things happen in life, right? But you got to move forward, because when you start to feel sorry for yourself and you start to feel like you're a victim in life, that mentality, it just does not work. And it usually ends up pouring yourself a drink at the bar when you start to feel down long enough. And again, it's not that life doesn't throw curveballs our way, and there needs to be a grieving process in certain circumstances, for sure. And there are times where we can live with some doubt and be in a tough mental space. But if you live there for too long, it's just not a winning formula. And I've seen it happen to countless amounts of people where you don't get to talk about it with other people. It's renting space in your head all the time. And when you start to feel sorry for yourself, you can easily develop this mentality of giving up on life and just figuring, well, what's the point? Why am I going to get sober if I think that things aren't going to end up working out, and living in that mental space, it doesn't work. And so the slogan, pour me another drink, is something that to definitely keep in mind. another slogan that is really important is that nothing is so bad that a drink or a drug will make better. So whatever you're going through in life, like I've said before, curveballs come our way. There is nothing that is going to come your way that a drink or a drug is going to make better. When obstacles come our way, it's up to us to step up to the plate and deal with it, and do it in the proper manner. Because here's the thing, this is just the truth. This is all that really matters, and this is the punchline. Whether you're getting high or not, or drinking or getting high, your problems are going to be there at the end of the day. So they don't go away just by us drinking and drugging. And that was really tough reality for me to face, right? Because I thought it worked for me for so long until it didn't, until my problems obviously just stacked up on one another, and no matter how much I tried to escape, they were there. They were there when I came to in the morning. So keep this in mind, that nothing is so bad that a drink or a drug will fix, because it just won't. This slogan is one of the most important slogans that you're probably going to come across, and it is, "We are as sick as our secrets." Whatever it is that you're holding on to, the things that aren't dealt with from the past, they weigh on us. They weigh on our hearts, they weigh on our soul, and a part of recovery. And you might not have to deal with this right now, wherever you're at right now, but eventually you want to be able to deal with the things that we have guilt and shame for, or anger and resentment towards. It is so important in the recovery process to be able to handle things that we never handled in the past, because guess what? They don't go anywhere, And this is something that comes later on when we have a little bit more of a stronghold. We have a little bit of confidence in where we are in our path in recovery, but make no mistake about it that we are as sick as our secrets. If we don't deal with the things that weigh heavy on us, where's it going? We're just made up of energy and matter. Like, when we have these thoughts living in our head rent free, they don't just disappear. A lot of people drink and use simply because of things that have happened already, and they don't want to handle it. So tread water, right, with trying to deal with things too early. I think that some things can 100% wait, but keep in mind that you really want to find your herd. You really want to find people that you can confide in, and whether it be a therapist, whether it be friends, that are sober or understand you, that you can trust 100%, whether it's in meetings, whether it be if you're religious and you go to church and you want to speak to a priest. These things really matter, So the idea of recovery is to deal with the things that have happened to us and take responsibility for our part in things, so we can live a life of real peace of mind. We don't want to constantly try to escape our thoughts. We want to be able to sit with ourselves and be happy with our thoughts and who we are. So we are as sick as our secrets. It's a very important slogan. Another quote that is short but sweet is, "It's alcoholism, not alcoholism." And if you're drinking or getting high, it really doesn't matter. It applies to both. But the idea here is that I need to remember to take an inventory every day. I need to be reminded that I'm in recovery, and that I need to stay clean on today's shower, not yesterday's shower. I may have 8 years in recovery, but I'm also very aware that I'm one decision away from having my misery back, And I think one of the biggest mistakes that people make oftentimes is that they don't respect addiction. They don't respect alcoholism. This is not something that you can just, it was a thing in the past. When you're a true addict, you're a true alcoholic, you have to live it each and every day. And I'm not saying you need to identify yourself as an addict or alcoholic, like you need to be constantly vigilant. But what I am saying is that don't be fooled that this can happen again later on down the line if you choose to. Don't think that the time away from it has you cured, because I've seen so many people with 10, 20, literally 30 plus years, they thought that they were cured and that they were okay to go back to things that they used to use, and they are mistaken, and it ends in catastrophe. People end up picking up right where they left off, and addiction is unbelievably powerful. So just remember, it's alcoholism, not alcoholism. This quote is called, or slogan is, don't quit 5 minutes before the miracle happens. And the idea here is, do not give up on the last mile, right? Let's say you're running a whole marathon and you've really been working hard at this. Let's say you got 2 days clean, or you got a week clean, 2 weeks clean, whatever the case may be. Don't give in before 5 minutes before the miracle happens. A lot of people in life, they give up right before they're about to have a breakthrough. They're about to break through. Things are about to change. Things are about to go in the right direction, but they just can't see it. And what you gotta be reminded of is, when you're on the verge of having a breakdown, you're really on the verge of having a breakthrough. It is so dark before the dawn. You know what I mean? Things can look like the world is against you, and things can never turn around. But you need to be reminded that things always turn around. You know, and it just takes work. So do not give in 5 minutes before the miracle happens. And the last quote I have for you here is, practice an attitude of gratitude. If you are living in gratitude, you will not want to use, you will not want to drink, right? If you're focused on the things that are going well in your life, and the people that you have in your life, and the things that you do have, you just have to put things in perspective sometimes. It's very easy to focus on, you could have 100 good things that are going on for you, or I'll speak on myself. I can have so many good things happening in my life, and I'm focused on the 1 or 2 things that I'm not content with, you know? And it's such a faulty way to live, because we end up getting what we focus on. It's a choice. You choose to focus on positivity or negativity. It's kind of like if you were to put a donut on the table and you were to ask an optimist what they see, they would tell you they'd see a nice juicy donut. It looks delicious. And if you were to ask the pessimist what they see, they would probably tell you, well, I see the hole in the donut. And to be honest with you, both are right. You know, there's not, one isn't wrong, they're both correct. And that should tell you right there that the results you're going to get in your life is based on your perspective and how you perceive things. And that brings me right into this quote. And you have to be focused on what is happening for you. Life is not happening to you, it's happening for you. And there were times in my life where I did not think that way. Matter of fact, the majority of my life, I thought with pessimism, and that things were happening to me, and that I was a victim. And once I really started to understand that I was responsible, maybe not for everything that happened in my life, but I was responsible for my attitudes and behaviors and how I looked at the things in my life. It's a game changer. So make sure that you're making a daily gratitude list, and really focusing on gratitude, because listen, if you have a cell phone and you're watching this right now, you have it better off than 95% of the population out there. And that's just the truth. Like, you know, it's like, put it in perspective. So, an attitude of gratitude. All right, guys. Well, listen, I really hope that you enjoy this little bonus video, this quotes. You know, I wanted to pick a few quotes that you could really understand and relate to, and things that can really help you in certain times. So I will have a PDF of more quotes for you guys, more slogans that can help. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed this bonus section. And I hope you guys are having a great day.